Hey friends, if you guys are catching this live, July 4th is coming up. And really throughout our whole calendar year, there's always lots of holidays that we can easily spin off track. And a lot of times these holidays last way longer than just a day because we have multiple places to go. Then we feel like we fell off track and it just keeps going. So today I'm going to be giving you tips to stay on track during the holidays and especially during summer. And if you guys are needing support and accountability, I encourage you to set up a free call with me and see if we're a fit. We'll go through your goals, your struggles, really figure out that missing piece and where you're stuck so that you can start moving forward. I offer online personal training through my app where I can set up workouts that are customized just for you, healthy habits, and it gives you that accountability because we can message each other. I also have my Healthy Inside and Out course that pieces together nutrition and really gives you a strong foundation to create healthy habits that you can stick with, not just a diet. So if you're ready to take that next step forward and you could use that support, accountability so you can stay consistent, set up a free call with me. There will be a link down below. Hi friends, and welcome to the Healthy Beyond 40 show. I'm Michele, mama of 4 and military wife, and I'm passionate about helping women get healthy from the inside out so they can feel better and live their best life. Do you feel like you're struggling to lose weight and get in shape? If you're ready to develop healthier habits, exercise consistently, and lose weight sustainably, then you're in the right place. I combine my expertise from my doctorate in physical therapy to my experience as a health coach, personal trainer, and yoga teacher to bring you actionable steps for a healthy lifestyle. No magic pill here, so lace up those shoes and get moving. All right, so today I'm going to be going over 8 tips to help you around holidays like July 4th, but also when you're going to different parties and through the summer season where we're just more busy and out of our routine. So tip number 1 is to decide ahead of time. So before you're even going to go to this party or event is to decide ahead of time what you're going to do. Make decisions about how you're going to handle that event or that party or even when you're traveling. What are you going to do for your food? What are you going to do ahead of time? Maybe you're going somewhere and you know that you always have your grandma's favorite cookies or something. How are you going to handle that? Because a lot of times we just sort of don't think about these things and we go and our emotions give way, or a lot of times it's really just mindless. So take some time before you even get to that event to think about what you're going to do. This also removes some of that like brain hazard that goes on where we just have like so many things on our mind, or we're just hungry and we're just going to grab for something. So if we decide ahead of time what we want to do, it helps us to be intentional and it helps us to stick to our intentions also. Tip number 2 is don't show up hangry. So we don't want to be hungry and get angry and cranky. So make sure that you're eating some protein, maybe some non-starchy veggies before you're even going somewhere. So don't go to an event starving where you're really hungry, because we want to avoid overeating. We want to avoid where we're not really in choice, because when we get to that hangry point, our blood sugar is typically low and we want to go for some starch or quick carb. That's what our body needs to rise our blood sugar up. So we tend not to make good choices. And I also want you to think about when you're going to events, it's also more than just the food. So in our culture, going to parties or holidays, it's always, these special desserts or these special meals at each thing that we have this really high emotional tie to. But I want you to also think when you're going to this event, what is it really about? It's about more than just this food. It's about the connection, the people, about having fun. And we can have fun outside of just eating food. So, all right. So here, first one we got, decide ahead of time. And 2, don't show up hangry. And also going with that, I sort of tied in, it's more than just food when we're going somewhere. Tip number 3 is to stay hydrated. So making sure that you're drinking enough water throughout the day. This is not only going to help with your energy levels, But also, if we have not drank enough water, we're going to consume more food. So if we can make sure that we are filled up in water and we're hydrated, it helps to support our health and it helps us to not overeat. And especially with staying hydrated, start your day with a good amount of water. I like to have my Organifi green juice in the morning because this gets me 16 ounces of water, but it also gets me my greens through the green juice, and my clinical dose of ashwagandha is in Organifi's, and that really helps with energy levels. I am not a caffeine person, so this is a natural way for me to get a good boost of energy. In my green juice, I like to add a scoop of collagen protein powder, so I'm getting some extra protein with my breakfast. I like to squeeze some lemon in it. And right now, the green apple crisp is my favorite flavor of their green juice drink. So you can use the code HEALTHY20 to save 20%. I'll put a link down below for that. Also in the morning, I make sure to take my fish oil, and I take my Extend Plus by Zinzino. It's a multivitamin, but it also has immune boosting supplements in it. So it's like a multivitamin plus immune support all in one. And so that is the way I like to start my day. So especially as you are doing more things, getting out of your routine, is to really have that good start in the morning. Tip number 4 is to load up on protein and non-starchy vegetables. So you really want to prioritize healthier options at these events so that you start to feel full and nourished. So when we're eating more protein and we're eating more non-starchy vegetables and fiber, that helps us to actually feel more full. And if you guys think of this, if you're eating more processed food, like let's say cookies or granola bars, we can typically eat more of that than if we're eating protein and carrots and cucumbers and salad. And that's because it takes more room in our stomach with the protein and with the non-starchy vegetables, and also takes our body more time to break those down. So even if you are at a party or at somewhere, look around what is actually healthy there that they have. Do they have some meat that is not dipped in some sugar type sauce? Are there some non-starchy veggies that you can have? And start to fill your plate up with those first. Number 5 is to watch your portion sizes and don't stuff yourself. So a lot of times we can have a little bit of something sweet or a little bit of something that we really love. But it's first, can I have my protein? Can I have my non-starchy veggies? And then when I have that favorite thing that I want, can I keep it to a small portion size? And overall, am I making sure that I don't get stuffed? Because this is something that is huge, is that overeating, when we're over consuming calories, is when we are going to get stuck and not move forward, when we're not going to lose weight, when we're just eating too much. So we really have to be mindful of our portion sizes and what we're eating. So a lot of times if you're someone who walks back to the table constantly getting food, you really don't have any idea how much you're getting. So if you can possibly do one plate, get what you want on it, that can be a good strategy. Or if you know, like, you might have your salad, then maybe you're going to go back for a little bit more. But really be mindful of what you're eating and those portion sizes and avoiding that going back. And then this rolls into tip number 6, is have a plan when you are done eating. So it goes back to this first idea of deciding ahead of time. But when you are done eating, what are you going to do? Because you want to avoid just mindlessly snacking or drinking on sugary drinks or things like that. Maybe you need to get up from the table when you're done. Maybe you need to just throw away your plate when you're done. Have some cue to yourself to signal that you're done eating and you're not going to eat anymore. And I also want to bring it back here is when you are done eating, the whole point of your get together or seeing other people, what is it about? It's about connection or whatever that is to you. It's about more than just the food. So remind yourself when you're done eating, what is this party or this event or this company really for? Number 7 is to be mindful of alcohol or sugary drinks. So we really want to limit consumption of these or maybe eliminate them altogether depending where you are. If you do want to have some alcohol or some sugary drinks, can you set a limit on yourself? And can you make sure that you have some protein and fiber first? Because even if alcohol is like a no sugar alcohol, like a White Claw or something, or if there's like a light beer that's, only 4 grams of carb, those will still typically spike your blood sugar. So sometimes having that protein or fiber in our stomach can help with that too, instead of just drinking it on an empty stomach. And tip number 8 is, how can you keep up with your exercise or movement routine? So really decide what your non-negotiable is when it comes to your movement and your exercise, and how you want to fit that into your day. So before you go somewhere in the morning, are you going to prioritize a walk or some strength training or doing yoga? Because a lot of times when we are moving our body and exercising, it does help us to motivate us to stay on track with our nutrition. We don't want to overeat and then exercise and feel like we have to burn it off. But sometimes when we are exercising and we're getting movement in, it signals to us, hey, we're taking care of our body here. I'm important. And it's also important what I put into my mouth. And a lot of times doing the exercise and movement just makes us feel better. I know it does for me and a lot of my clients, and especially people who have started exercising that really haven't exercised in a while, just say how much better they feel when they do it. There's also studies that show this too. So really continuing to prioritize your exercise and movement. And I also want to remind you guys, it doesn't have to be long, especially when it comes to exercise like strength training or yoga. You can start quick. I was just speaking to someone that had 3 little kids, and I'm like, just start with 10 or 15 minutes of exercise. That is literally what I did after my 3rd kid. I was struggling to make the time for exercise, but I realized it didn't have to be long. I started with 10-minute workouts. And she asked on this call, like, does that really work? Like, yes, if you do a 10-minute workout, push yourself pretty hard, and you can stay consistent with that, that is going to work. You're not going to see quite the same results as if you do 30 minutes, but you're going to see results because you're staying consistent. Compare it to doing nothing. It makes a difference. So as you're getting busy, don't ditch your exercise or movement. Just make it a smaller amount of time if you need to, because you're going to find that that consistency is going to help you feel better, and you're just developing those healthier habits. So quick review here. 1, decide ahead of time what you're going to do. Number 2, don't show up hangry. Eat something ahead of time if you need to. Number 3 is stay hydrated, drink enough water. 4, load up on protein and non-starchy vegetables. You can maybe do that ahead of time or at the actual event or party. Number 5 is watch your portion sizes. These events are about more than just food. We don't need to stuff ourselves. Number 6, have a plan when you're done eating. Number 7, be mindful of alcohol and sugary drinks. And number 8, keep some consistency with your exercise and movement routine. All right, friends, I hope that this was helpful. I would love it if you head to my Facebook group, Healthy Beyond 40, and share which tip really stands out to you. And also, as I gave all these tips, it's awesome if you can do all of them, but if you really just need to focus on 1 or 2, do that. So share in the group what tip helps you the most, or maybe you have a different idea or tip that really helps you when you're going to different parties or events, and I would love to hear that in the group. All right, friends, keep on moving. You guys can do this.